Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of mindWATCH. I am Dan Katz.
And I am Thomas Scholl.
We're so excited to come back to you guys. I know that we took a little bit of a break.
It's been a hot minute.
It has. It's been a little bit of a minute, so we apologize, but we're getting all of our lives together in the year of 2021.
Yeah, everyone knows how crazy this year is and everything, so things, are abnormal sometimes, and that's okay. We've learned to adapt in life and stuff like that. So
we're adapting and we're flowing and we're very excited about
going with the flow, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for this edition, we were thinking about the pandemic, and we're thinking about over the past year, all the different things that started and ended during the pandemic, different trends and different things that people were doing. Right. So I remember when the pandemic just started.
Yeah. And that's when things, were a little, scary. And I was like, oh, no. But people have let their guard down since. So, I haven't.
No, we haven't. But yeah, so everybody was at home. Nobody left. People were terrified to go.
Yeah, I would step outside and walk back in because I'm like, oh, no, the outside world.
The outside world is scary.
So
what were some of the things?
It was a different time.
It was, because we didn't have a lot of knowledge then. But what are some of the things that that people were kind of doing in the beginning?
Oh, there was quite a few things. And one thing I remember in particular is a lot of people were you know what? I'm in the house. I never really truly take the time to cook. And people improve their cooking skills and their baking skills in particular. I remember a lot of people would be making different kinds of breads, sourdoughs and things like that.
Bread became a big deal. Bread was a huge deal for a while.
It did. And that's the one thing I don't think is ever going to die out. Maybe not as many people will do because, let's face it, humans have been baking bread for, thousands of generations.
Yeah, but not to this extent.
Not to this extent.
There were flour shortages, and not because we didn't produce it. It's because we couldn't keep up with the people making bread.
Not just bread, but people were making cakes, and they were just trying to improve their baking skills, I guess. That's one thing I will say that I feel I improved on over the pandemic is my cooking skills. I feel I've made some pretty awesome meals. You've had a couple of mine.
Yes.
So
yes.
I make some really good chicken wings now. I have a couple good recipes.
And now that we just got this humongous air fryer.
Oh, I'm so excited to use it.
We're going to be making even more chicken wings.
Way more convenient.
Oh my God.
Another thing too is, this game was scheduled to come out. I know I've mentioned it before on this because I think last year when we were doing the podcast, we talked about it a little bit as well. Animal Crossing, New Horizons, the brand new.
You mean the one that Talia is playing right now as we speak?
That came out literally right at the perfect time because it's the perfect game to be cooped up with. It's relaxing. It's one of those games. It's kind of like Minecraft in the sense that there's no. In Minecraft you do have enemies and stuff like that, but in Animal Crossing you really don't. It's all harmonious. It's all relaxing. You get to build your own little island and form a community with your guests and stuff like that.
Okay,
it's
seriously,
a really peaceful game.
There could be nothing more mindfully perfect than Animal Crossing. If the world could be Animal Crossing, that's what we at mindFULLme are trying to establish is for everybody to be as incredibly nice and kind and polite and caring and communal as Animal Crossing.
Exactly.
They never have anything bad to say, the animals on Animal Crossing.
Well, Tom Nook's, he charges a lot of money. He charges you for the island that you're building. Just saying.
But saying, everybody that comes is really nice. It can get a little snarky and a little passive aggressive.
There are
when
some
you don't
villagers,
visit them.
There are some villagers that are, I don't want to say snarky, but you'd rather have them, not on your island as opposed to some other villagers.
When you don't see, because this is the thing that we're looking at.
Because they all have personalities,
They do. But one of the things that we're looking at too is some of these trends like baking bread or Animal Crossing or the other 1,000 different trends that started not continuing. When Animal Crossing, for instance, first came out, and I remember and Talia's with us, that's Thomas's girlfriend. Yeah. So we all say hi. But I remember because she was living with us at the time, and it was any second before the game would arrive.
Yeah.
It was just a countdown. And when you decided that you wanted a Nintendo,
I put at least on my Switch, I put at least over 100 and something hours into that game. And since then, I really haven't played it that much.
But
that's just me,
that's
though.
the thing. But that's the thing, right? What are some of the different things that we started during the pandemic that we're not doing anymore? Like, not everybody's baking bread every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Not everybody's playing the 100 hours of Animal Crossing a day that you were playing. Like, you haven't been on your island in probably like 6 months.
No, my villagers probably think that I'm like, vanished or something, or like lost at sea or whatever.
Yeah, like you're dead, and they're all
yeah,
left
literally,
alone.
they're like, "Who is this man?" I'm gonna come back and there's gonna be roaches in my house. That's an Animal Crossing thing. Is if you don't play for a while, then you get roaches in your house. It's like one roach, though. You just kill it, and that's it.
4.
Yeah.
So, but that's the aspect. So, what do you think? Besides something like Animal Crossing, which, by the way, is one of the most relaxing games to watch.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Like, I loved watching Talia play it. And then when Talia would visit her sister, because her sister's island, cause her sister's an animator, so her sister's island was like probably the most flawless thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, people went insane with.
But it was really cool to like.
There was
watch.
a lot of creativity. A lot of people were like, "Oh my god, can I come to your island? You gotta come to my island first." Like, it was like a moment during that stressful time where everyone was like, "Yeah, this is nice."
But I think it's one of the things that we were trying to learn during the pandemic is the ability to slow down.
Yeah.
Like, Animal Crossing is, yeah, you're right. It's like Minecraft, but I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually better in my opinion than like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it would be, but it is. But if you think about it, when you sit down and you play Animal Crossing,
It can really zone into
you slow down.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's one of the things about the pandemic that we all realize is that we had to slow down. Life could not continue the way it was.
I don't know, man. 8 hours in, I was like, "Wow, I feel pretty slow right now."
Right.
I feel like a couch potato.
But and again, I think look, we had life pre-pandemic that was incredibly fast,
Yeah.
incredibly disconnected, incredibly stressful,
And uncertain too.
yes, and people were eating badly, right?
Actually,
They
it was
were not
opposite
working
for
out,
us.
right?
Yeah.
They were not working out as much pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
right? Now the pandemic comes, people move from the office into their home, everyone's working from home, people are starting to slow down, people are not going out to eat as much because you just couldn't, restaurants were
Yeah.
like takeout only, and we were actually saying, okay, well, you know what, we're at home, let's be healthy.
Yeah.
Like, look at our family.
'Cause
we were working out every day. We were making really healthy meals. We cheated on Saturday when we did a takeout.
Yeah, that's fine.
To support local businesses. But Sunday through Friday, everything was cooked.
Yep.
Saturday, you want to support local businesses, right? Because we don't want the economy to be destroyed.
Right.
Right. And we would eat something unhealthy. But our moderation during the pandemic was awesome.
Yeah, which was funny because I remember as soon as like everything started going down, I was like, I could very easily gain even more weight now because we're literally stuck in the house. It's not like a hurricane where it's like, a few days, maybe a week. This was, we're still going on it now. Like, it's a year now.
Yeah.
Like, you could very easily just be, cooped up in your house, just like eating some Twinkies and some goldfish. And you're like, yeah. And then just start gaining all this weight. But I was like, I'm going to use that as motivation to not.
But I think we did. Like, there were so many people out there that decided.
Oh, yeah, I lost about 20 or so pounds.
Look,
since then.
As a result of the pandemic, mindFULLme was born.
Yeah.
Like, bringing mindfulness into the home because people weren't going out.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite, mindful teacher, if you will, right? Lisa, we would be driving over to her house and doing all of our classes, right? Everything was in person. She's 45 minutes from where you and I live.
Yep.
We'd leave her place like 8:45, come home at 9:30, and that's when we would eat dinner, right? And as a result, mindfulness came into the home, and mindFULLme was born of bringing everything online, bringing everything on the internet, podcasts, meditation, school tools, elder tools, which, by the way, is our new thing that's coming out for our awesome people that are of a more mature age. So, and that'll be out in a week. But,
distinguished.
All of that stuff started coming into the home. Mm-hmm. And I think people did start to, when other apps out there and meditation apps and
Tons of
people
meditation
started
apps.
using them.
Yep.
And people started to do, we have always been meditators. We have.
Yeah.
You know, and I've raised you to be a meditator because I've been one since I'm in high school. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, come pandemic, man, I wasn't doing just a half an hour. I was doing an hour and a half.
Yeah, I was exceeding.
Throughout the day.
Yeah. I would be doing 20, even 30 minutes, which was, a lot for me. For someone who wasn't as experienced as you, had been doing it for over 15, you said 20 years, right?
Yeah, probably more like 30, but 40. I don't want to say I'm 54. So, yeah, I started when I was 15, 16 years old is when I started.
Okay, yeah. But, yeah, it was, like, consistent every day, and it just became, like, part of my routine. I didn't really have to think about it that much.
So, I think one of the things to kind of, like, look at is, now the pandemic is starting to lift, right? We have, depending upon where you live in the country.
Yeah, it's very
right?
spotty.
It's very spotty. But people are starting to go back to work. Like I'm back. I'm my day job outside of mindFULLme is a teacher, and I'm back in school.
And I'm part of retail too. So, and I'm also surrounded by a bunch of people every day. So I try to make sure social distancing and stuff.
Yeah. We definitely take our time with that. We definitely make sure that our masks are on and stuff. But as the world starts to return back to normal, and hopefully everybody gets vaccinated and herd immunity happens and all the other buzzwords that we hear all the time.
And then we can go back to quote unquote a normal life, back to normalcy
right.
At least.
So I think it's one of those things, what do we want to take with us?
Yeah.
Like there are definite lessons. Like honestly, TikTok existed before the pandemic, but as a result of the pandemic, TikTok is the biggest social media platform out there.
I remember when people were going nuts about TikTok, and I was like, I'm not going to download this Vine Reject app. And I was like, all right, one day, it was actually pretty recently, my girlfriend got me hooked on it, and she was watching them, and I was like, oh, these are pretty funny. So I downloaded them. I would like spend sometimes hours like not fall asleep just on TikTok, and I would just like be laughing in my room. I'm surprised you guys don't hear me.
I know, I don't.
Yeah,
which is weird because I'm such a
because I'm like cackling in my room, like it's like hyena laughter, like, and I'm super surprised you don't hear it.
Well, I have not downloaded TikTok, but I think I'm going to because of you and Nathan.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to shift your perspective a little bit on how you perceive the app.
Yes.
Because you think it's just a bunch of people doing a bunch of cringy dances, and which there are that on there, of course, but there's a lot of other great stuff on there. Cooking videos.
Right.
Comedy.
And I think it's one of the things that I think is going to last post-pandemic.
Me too.
And I'm really hoping, and we've talked about this on mindWATCH before, but I'll be honest, I find myself, now that I'm kind of a little bit more back to normal as far as like work goes, but I find myself not being as respectful to myself as I was during the pandemic, right? Like not working out as much. Like I was working out and going for, 3 to 5 mile walk every day and meditating an hour and a half, throughout the day, not all at once.
Yeah.
And I'm finding myself not doing that because I've got to wake up early and I've got to go to work. And then I come home, and because we're so accessible online, a lot of my work meetings I'm doing at home.
Yeah.
So especially when I go to like other, I'm a magnet coordinator, so I go to other middle schools and stuff, and all those are nighttime events, and I'm doing those from home, yes, but it still takes time away from. I will say the one thing I'm very happy about our family, and I'm really hoping that we continue this, is that we still are cooking Sunday through Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We are. I don't think that we've gone to eat unhealthy since the pandemic is lifting. We're still cooking healthy meals.
I could do a little better, but yeah.
Well, yes, but
I've kind of like, I don't know, I've maintained my weight though, because at my job, I push carts at a grocery store, and it's physically demanding. So I get at least 20,000 steps in every time I go to work. So it's kind of like, I eat a pint of ice cream, but then I burn it off the next day,
Right.
But I don't want to.
But outside of that, our dinners are healthy. We're still doing only once a week takeout, right? Which is great. So I'm hoping that as life returns to a normalcy, that people in general will take, because there was some great stuff. The worst stuff in the world happened during the pandemic, but some positive things, if we're looking at positive stuff, people did slow down. Mm-hmm. They were forced to.
Yeah.
The high-paced tenseness of the office and office politics slowed, not saying it disappeared, But it definitely slowed as people moved into the home.
As things were changing and we had to adapt and things like that, yeah.
So there were fun things like Animal Crossing that I think, people are definitely still playing, but not necessarily as much.
Because the thing is I still love the game. It's just ever since the next gen consoles have come out, I've been playing on my Xbox ever since then. So it's not like, it's kind of like the middle child, I guess. Where it's just kind of like, we'll pay attention to you, but like this guy right here.
Hence, we only had 2 children.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's just a metaphor, guys.
Just a metaphor. But I don't think we're going to be baking as much bread.
I mean, I never really baked bread, though.
I know, but I'm talking people in general, not just
It's
us.
more of like
you definitely saw everybody was baking.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to slow.
Specifically.
And I think that TikTok will survive. And I think Animal Crossing will be there. It's definitely going to have an update
TikTok and
one
Animal
day.
Crossing 100%.
And but I'm hoping that people will really focus on some of the more intrinsic things about the pandemic and some of the things that we learned, how we were taking care of our environment better. Things were starting to come back, right? Wild animals were starting to appear again. We live in South Florida. There were actually like dolphins in Biscayne Bay. I mean, just things that were, starting to happen.
Yeah.
I just hope those continue. That
like
as we move forward and we come away from the pandemic and vaccines start and people start to take them and we start to be more protected from this awful disease.
Yeah.
That we still remember we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. And it's very easy to totally forget all the stuff that you're doing in the beginning because you become complacent in a certain way of living and it becomes very easy. So there's a bunch of ways you can sort of maintain that. We've talked about that before on our podcast too.
Yeah. So go back and listen. We're excited to, come back, and we're excited to bring you more new material. And you will still get a podcast on mindFULLme every Thursday. And we will be with you once a month. And we're very excited. We do have 4 podcasts, remember. We've got Need to Heed, and we've got Align Your Mind, and we've got mindWATCH, and we've got your monthly check-in. So there are definitely 4 podcasts that are running. Please continue to look for our website, mindfulme.org, mindful with 2 L's. We have our meditations on Monday. We are starting to include meditations in Spanish, and that will start to pop up in a week. And we are school tools, which are shorter mindful exercises, 3 to 5 minutes. And we have, I think next week, we're going to be posting 7 more school tools. And I think 4 or 5 of those will be in Spanish as well. So we're going to start to have mindful Spanish tools as well. Our elder tools will launch next week. And that is going to be some special mindful exercises for our audience that is a little bit more mature.
Expanding our repertoire, if you will.
And we're excited about that. So please continue to look for that. We're really bringing you as much as we can onto our website as possible to meet the needs of everybody that is out there. And again, if you have any suggestions, please just let us know.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, guys. We're excited to be back.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at mindFULLme Inc. That's mindful with 2 L's, M-E, Inc. And also visit our website for resources just like this, mindfulme.org. That's mindful with 2 L's, M-E.org. We can't wait to see you soon. Bye.